my journey is probably a little bit different than, both Dee Dee's and Chris's, because I never knew this was something that I wanted to do. I didn't wake up saying I want to be a wardrobe stylist and this is how this is going to happen for me. I worked for 5 years in corporate America at the Reds. I was working at Red Lobster. And you couldn't have told me that I was making my good money as a regional training manager and that wasn't what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And I literally sat in the restaurant one morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had just moved to New York from Florida. It was freezing outside, and I'm a Miami girl, so I needed to be warm. And she was cold. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was loading in shrimp and lobster from the back door. And I called my mom in tears in the middle of the restaurant, and I said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what my journey's supposed to look like, but I know this is not it. And the next day I gave them my notice. And they offered me more money, they offered me more position, and I was just done. And there's a point in your life where you realize that where you are is not where you're meant to be, so it's time for you to go. Because a lot of times, God has laid out your path because he's already called your destiny long before you ever came into existence. So sometimes you stay in a place too long because you're scared of what the other side looks like. And that was that moment for me, and I was like, you know what, I have to walk in absolute fearlessness because I can't be here anymore. And within 2 weeks of that, I was on a plane to California. And my first job here was as an on-set PA. Now, I don't necessarily look like what fashion has for the world. I'm a big girl. And I'm okay with the fact that I'm a big girl. So when I got here, I didn't look like what fashion expected me to be. But I had an idea that that was maybe where I wanted to go because those girls were all real cute, and I wanted to be real cute, but I was cleaning toilets as a PA on set when I got here. I cleaned toilets for 3 shows. And I thought to myself, if my family knew that I left my corporate job and this was what I was doing, I was too embarrassed to tell them that that's what I was out here doing.
Oh, she know that.
Oh. So my break literally came. Don't tell her. I ended my shift cleaning toilets, and Little Kim was on one of the shows that I was doing, and the girls were sitting on the floor, and they were hot glue gunning all these Swarovski crystals onto her panties. And they had been there already for about an hour, and they were cussing and carrying on. They didn't want to do it, and I was like, I'll sit here and put them on there. And I sat on that floor for 3 hours, hot glue gunning Swarovski crystals onto Little Kim's panties. I wasn't getting paid. I was already off the clock, and that was my very first job here. And because I had sat there for that 3 hours, the next day when I came in, the wardrobe people requested that I be in their department. So then from that moment on, they would go to another show, and I had moved on to another show with them. And I was still the girl who's probably hot glue gunning, but what I noticed in that moment was it was preparation for something else. Because I had listened to his voice, and now I was doing what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how that was gonna happen. And what I learned in my experiences going from job to job with that initial crew was there was a whole set of things that I didn't know that I didn't know. I didn't know that I was supposed to show up and wear show black because they were all cute, but I wasn't supposed to be cute. So I needed to wear, I didn't know what a kit was, but I didn't know that I didn't know what a kit was, so I had to sit there and I had to learn that. So all the times that all these assistants would come and go, I'd watch the things that they weren't necessarily doing right so that I would know not to make those mistakes. And as I was becoming known as a person who's just gonna do whatever, that caught the notice of some executives who were on set. So there was another show that needed a PA, and that was Top Model. So I moved over to Top Model as the PA at Top Model and started staying a little bit later than everyone else, coming a little bit earlier than everyone else, and taking the jobs no one else wanted to do. So I became known on that set as the binder girl because no one wanted to make the binders. No one wanted to print all the girls' pictures. There's thousands and thousands of girls who would show up, and there's thousands and thousands of pictures that you have to print so that Tyra can decide who she wants, and I was the only person willing to do that. But what they didn't understand was that I had already learned in my last job that I needed to be listening and paying attention, because it wasn't about me doing the binders or printing the pictures. It was about the fact that now I got to sit in the meeting with the executive producers and with Tyra, with the owner of the company, because I was the girl that was handing her the pictures as she was deciding what was going on. So it wasn't wardrobe, it wasn't what I wanted to do, but I knew that possibly it was going to get me closer to something else. And that's something else, was her turning to me one day and asking my opinion on a photo shoot. And maybe I'm like, I don't really like that. And she was like, really, Mo? And I was like, can you do better? Yeah. So she let me do better. She gave me a chance to do my very first photo shoot on that show. And I thought to myself, I've never done anything in costuming. I don't necessarily know what I'm supposed to do, but I do know that I've been listening all this time, so I know what a kit looks like. I know what's supposed to be in there. I didn't know how to sew after that Little Kim job, so I went out and took some sewing classes. So by the time I got that first chance at that photo shoot, I knew how to do a hem. I knew how to sew on a button, and these were things that only but God I needed to know when I did that first photo shoot. And I subsequently started as a PA, went into costume, and did that job as the costume supervisor, and I was there for 5 years. And then right after that, my very last job with her was when Andre Leon Talley was coming on to set. And that season where he started coming, and mind you, he didn't know me from a hill of beans. But I was always there, I was always on time, and I always had a very good attitude. It's because I had already been cleaning toilets, and I had done that with a smile. So now I'm costume, honey, I am happy. I was a happy girl. And I will never forget, I was literally bending down. I was on the floor because we didn't have an iron board because somebody else had forgotten that. That was okay. And I was on the floor with the towel ironing, and I heard this deep Mo! And I was like, if that ain't Andre Leon Talley calling my name, you don't even know my name. He had spilled an iced coffee down the front of a $15,000 Chado Ralph-Lucci caftan and expecting me to get it out 20 minutes before he was going to walk on set. But again, there were so many things that I had picked up that I knew exactly how to get coffee out of silk. But had I not done all those other things that somebody else didn't want to do, I wouldn't have been prepared for that moment. So I got the coffee out of that. He went on set, and I thought to myself, I just took it from the Ain't that God? In my very last season there, I started getting that feeling like I wasn't supposed to be there anymore. And he said to me, everything that you need is already inside of you. You just need to go. And I thought, again, I'm leaving a good check. I'm doing my good life. To now leave and do something on my own that I didn't really know that I knew what to do. But through that job, I got into the union because Tyra wanted me to be the costume supervisor. So now I realized I don't know what that means, but now I need to do some more learning. So I did some more learning, and shortly after that, I was able to then costume design for the NFL. I was then able to work with Ruth Carter, who just did The Butler. I was able to move on from that and work with Idris Elba on a web series. So there's so many other things that have happened in my career because preparation met up with my possibility. So because I was prepared and I did the little job, I was able to learn and understand and grow and be available for the big jobs. So now 3 years later, like I am in awe that all of y'all are here. Because I was like, wow, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I was sitting right there hoping somebody would impart something into me. But my journey is not going to look like your journey. But if you do the things that maybe everybody else doesn't want to do, if you're prepared in every one of those moments, and you steward every opportunity that you get, from the toilet to the coffee, you're going to be okay.